Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. We got a shiny HD first look at Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday finally, and because it's so crisp HD, we can actually see some really important Easter eggs very clearly now etched into his armor, so we'll break them all down, because I think they answer some questions about why certain characters were not featured during the first big chair watch video. There were a lot of missing big MCU characters that we know are going to be in the movie for that, and missing classic X-Men too. This is just the beginning. We're probably going to get a bigger teaser trailer before the end of the year, and they're going to be filming Avengers Secret Wars April through most of next year. Of course, I will do all the videos for everything they do wind up releasing. Just expect it to go down like it did for Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, where they release teasers that don't really tell you that much about the movie. Like, how can we release a teaser that doesn't give anything away about the movie itself? So the reason why we have this brand new teaser of Doctor Doom's armor so early though is because there was a Marvel licensing expo in China. It's the same one that gave us the leak on Doctor Doom's hologram that gave us more details about his powers, abilities, the 10 rings, all that stuff. There was a low quality version of this that came out that was too blurry to actually make out exactly some of the details on his armor. Now we just have a crisp HD version of it, so some of you probably already spotted some of these big Easter eggs on his armor. Starting with Thor here, so if you zoom and enhance on his armor on the right side here, you can see what looks like a symbol for Thor's hammer on the pin fastening the cloak to his armor. On the left side is what looks like Captain Marvel's starburst symbol on the other pin. This might be one of the twists why Captain Marvel was not featured during Chair Watch, because it seems like they're implying here with these that Doctor Doom has defeated versions of Thor and Captain Marvel in his 818 universe, taken their power like Thor's hammer and his god level power, and is using them to boost his own power. So he has Asgardian technology, he also has Captain Marvel's cosmic power too, and Thor's god level power. Given a lot of these Thor, Captain Marvel twists, I wouldn't be surprised if Doctor Doom shows up having killed a lot of other Avengers characters from other universes. They kind of joked about this during Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. The whole idea that Kang had fought different versions of the Avengers from other universes and killed all of them at some point. Now just imagine that, but Doctor Doom.
You're an Avenger. Have I killed you before? They all blur together after a while. You're not the one with the hammer.
That's Thor.
Doctor Doom's whole thing, his whole advantage, is that he's both a man of technology and a man of science, so he's using both magic, god-level power, in addition to just regular cosmic power like Iron Man uses, for example. His arc reactor is powered basically by an Infinity Stone, an element that he created from the Space Stone. It looks like this is also meant to be a subversion of the enchantment on Thor's hammer, that Doctor Doom, despite being the main antagonist of Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, is still worthy. He can lift Thor's hammer in a way that Thanos, for example, who thought that he was correct, all the memes, Thanos was right, could not lift Thor's hammer. Also really hoping we actually see Doctor Doom wield Thor's hammer from the MCU as well too, because if he can do it in his universe or another universe, that means he can do it in the MCU as well. That would actually make Thor crap his pants a little bit. You also might remember they just did this twist a little while ago in the comics where you see Doctor Doom forming his own version of the Avengers, wielding Thor's hammer, being worthy. So I think this confirms the theory that even though Doctor Doom is supposed to be the main villain of those movies, technically he is not wrong. He doesn't think himself evil. It's more of a Captain America Civil War situation where you have different sides believing themselves to be in the right and being justified. Most of that movie was all about dismantling that argument, like who was more correct, Iron Man or Captain America, and then the fallout from that destroying the Avengers, all the characters temporarily. So imagine that notion on a cosmic multiversal scale. Doctor Doom trying to stop the incursions from destroying the rest of the multiverse. He's just got a way stabbier plan to fix everything that throws him into opposition with all the other characters, like that Fantastic Four post-credit scene with Franklin Richards. Is he stealing Franklin Richards, or is Franklin Richards helping him save the multiverse? There were a couple other details that also leaked out about the movie too, and the idea that Doctor Doom correctly blames some of the other characters, the other hero characters, for causing the incursions in the first place. Key examples of this are Doctor Strange and Spider-Man during Spider-Man No Way Home, and a little bit during Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. All the Marvel's characters during that movie were responsible for the incursion, or Doctor Doom blames them for that particular incursion. Supposedly, it's also how they're invoking the original Steve Rogers MCU character. If you remember, at the end of Avengers Endgame, he goes back to the past to live with Peggy Carter in the 1940s and have a life with her. They actually filmed new scenes for Avengers Doomsday back during what looks like the 1950s, so they've been living together as husband and wife for a little while after Avengers Endgame, and it seems like Doctor Doom tries to go back there to kill him to stop the incursion because that Captain America caused an incursion when he went back to the past to live with Peggy Carter. As for Captain Marvel's Starburst symbol here, in comic book lore, the Starburst symbol itself is just the insignia of the Kree military. All other Kree-related characters usually have it on their uniforms. Not every single one, but most of them. It started with the original Marvel version of the character in the comics when he debuted for the first time. He was the original holder of the Captain Marvel title. Most people who wielded the title of Captain Marvel after him also wore similar costumes inspired by his original costume. Really good examples of this in the comics are Min-Erva, who was actually played by Gemma Chan in the Captain Marvel movie when she becomes Captain Marvel later. Phyla-Vell, who is also an MCU character now after Guardians of the Galaxy 3, wore multiple different costumes eventually, but some of them did have the Starburst symbol. And in the comics, she is a Kree character, although the MCU slightly changed that backstory.
I feel a little sad for them.
Yeah, sure, but these townsfolk can't protect themselves.
In the MCU, Captain Marvel has gone through a number of different versions of costumes, but each time she kept the Starburst symbol on the suit. She kept it because it was originally on her Kree version of the suit, and then it just served as a reminder of her traumatic backstory. The whole way they explain her suits in the MCU is that they're Kree technology that can just alter their appearance. So you see her cycling the different visual styles of the suits in the first Captain Marvel movie, all just Easter eggs for her different comic book suits. She just cycled the look again to change to this costume in the Marvels movie, but it's the same basic suit technology powering it all. What it seems like they're doing for Avengers Doomsday on Doctor Doom's suit here is they're using the Starburst symbol on this other pin just to represent Captain Marvel's power itself, and they're implying that this Doctor Doom has killed whoever the current Captain Marvel was in his 818 universe or some other universe and taken their power, adding it to his own. And Captain Marvel has cosmic level power. So part of the idea when the movie begins is that he comes in having already gone around the multiverse, killing a lot of very powerful beings, taking their power. My early assumption is that MCU Captain Marvel is still alive during the movie, and it'll just be a subversion when they show up. Like Thor tries to fight him, Captain Marvel from the MCU tries to fight him, but he's able to equal their power because he's already taken their power from another universe. There's also been a lot of talk about some of the legacy characters not coming back or coming back. For instance, Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, mystery missing during Chairwatch, also called Jeremy Renner on a talk show where he tried to not answer her about being in Avengers Doomsday. So you have like two characters who were not featured in Chairwatch joking about being in Avengers Doomsday.
Hi, Jeremy. This is Brie Larson, and I was just wondering, are you going to be in Avengers Doomsday?
Me? No, girl. Are you?
Famke Janssen also talked about her Jean Grey, claiming that Marvel has not asked her to come back as Jean Grey yet in Avengers Doomsday. She did not say that she wasn't asked to come back in Secret Wars, though, which I think is what's actually going on, is they're just saving some of those characters for Secret Wars because there's so much stuff going on during both movies, and they want both movies to feel different, so the characters that they feature in them are going to be fundamentally different. Basically the exact same thing that the Russos did with Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Just to explain the different types of power in the MCU, they could change this in the future now that we're getting X-Men characters eventually, but there are a couple different basic types. There's cosmic power, which includes beings like the Celestials, who are not gods, but they're still some of the most powerful beings in the universe. All of the Infinity Stones are meant to be cosmic power. Then there's actual god, deity level power, which is similar to cosmic power, but slightly different than the way that it works. Gods in the MCU draw their power either from the beliefs of their followers, or they can pass it to their children. So you can transcend from a normal being to become a god, like Odin started out as a normal cosmic being that then became a god, and he was able to pass his god power to his biological children like Thor. Loki was also able to attain a higher level of god level power by the end of Loki Season 2. Then there's magic, characters like Doctor Strange. The way they explain that in the MCU is that he draws power from other dimensions to power his spells, and you can have cosmic level beings that also use magic. Scarlet Witch is also a good example of a character that uses both types of power. Like her power is both cosmic, but also just traditional magic. Like she's drawing power from Chthon, the god of chaos. Then there's demonic power. Characters like Mephisto, who are also low-level gods, are kind of a combination of types where they wield both magic but also have godly level powers on a cosmic scale. They can pass their power to other people like normal gods. Thor, for example, can grant power to other characters like he did during Thor Love and Thunder. Most people in the MCU right now have just one type of power. Doctor Doom during Avengers Doomsday will be wielding multiple types of power, which is one of the reasons why he's so much more powerful than everyone else, and he's able to steamroll all the MCU characters. Also, the subversion on a lot of MCU tropes, like Doctor Doom, despite being a villain, is still viewed worthy by Thor's hammer. There's a whole lot to unpack here in all of these HD first looks, so if you spotted any Easter eggs or references in his armor that I didn't talk about during this video or previous videos, just write them below in the comments, and I will do more videos as Marvel releases or leaks on purpose more teasers. Most of the time, those big trailers for Marvel that drop at the end of the year are either like after Thanksgiving or the first week of December, so just expect that as like the alert zone to be looking out for big Marvel trailers. I just did a brand new Black Panther 3 video, click here for that, and click here for that new leak about the original plot from Avengers Kang Dynasty and how that was going to play out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.